Oh boy, talk about a awesome end to a long hunting season.
My father gave me Montana.
This year I've gotten 3 elk, or at least helped in the harvesting of 3 elk. Currently making some jerky, so I'm going to show you here in a second. But I figured I would let you know as to what this elk means to me and this season of hunting. I hunted every single day that I had an opportunity, and my wife's going to complain about it. But that is public land hunting here in Montana. I'm hunting during the general season of rifle, and so that gives me about 5 weeks to go out and look for an elk, because that's what I want. I want an elk. I don't really care to take a mule deer or any of the other options, whitetail. I don't get a moose tag. I haven't gotten a moose tag, I should say, but elk is by far my favorite, and so that's what I dedicate my time to. Now, this season was a lot of work, but opening weekend, we went out and came across a bull elk. He was about 100 yards away from us. We had spooked him out of the woods, and he came charging up the hill behind us on his way up and away from us. Typically, that's where elk are going to move. If you get over top of them on a hill, your elevation is higher than their elevation, they always want to move up. That's their way of escaping. So one of those tips is to try to get high up on the hill, because they're typically going to move into you during their escape route. Now, if it's a really high, hard hill, that might make it really tough for you to get there, especially at a good time of the day. Earlier is better, in my experience, but that's not how my last hunt went. This elk, well, you might have seen the short where I had pointed behind me and told you to go out and buy a pair of binoculars, because I saw elk on the other side of the valley, 5,000-ish, probably about 10 miles away. And you can see them because it's an open field on top of the mountain, but there is thousands of them. So they really kind of bunch up in the herds, and it's easier to tell, hey, that's something that's not normally there. So I went over in that direction looking to see if they haven't moved from that open area across the stream to a district that I could hunt a cow at. And sure enough, I got into a position where, still about 5 miles away, I was able to pick out a herd that had hidden itself on top of a mountain in an open field. So they had food, shelter, easy visibility for what was around them, and they just generally felt secure. That was a great opportunity for me, because the way to get to them was to go around the back of the mountain. Now, those binoculars came in handy, but what also came in handy was onX. On my phone, I have an app. Currently, it is $17. It is 70% off. It is a really great deal if you are looking for a product that is going to give you the ability to e-scout or use a map online in your hand and tell you where you can go, who owns that land, if there's access to that land. And for me, it's really opened up a variety of places to hunt here in Montana, because what is public and what is private doesn't necessarily depend on a fence. It usually depends on just where you are. And so a GPS on my phone is able to tell me where I'm at, and makes it a lot easier to go out and find stuff that I can hunt throughout the year. So I picked up onX after spotting the elk on the side of the mountain. I looked at it and decided that where they were set was on National Forest. Just below them was BLM, and well down at the bottom of the hill was private. Now, I couldn't access them from the bottom of the hill, so I went down and around the hill. There's a road, it's kind of sketchy, but there was a road that went up to the back and a trailhead that would have taken me off in a different direction. But a couple of tips on hunting. There are 3 things that I believe deep down will make you a better hunter and really just qualify to making you a better man out there in real life, okay? You're not gonna find something if you're not looking for something. So you have to get up and you have to go out and you have to go looking. You're not going to get something if you're not willing to get uncomfortable and do hard work, right? So you have to get out of your truck and you have to go through the mountains, up the hills, across the valleys, wherever that game happens to be, that's where you have to go. The third one is if you aren't looking, you won't find it. Sounds a lot like the first one, but honestly what I'm trying to say is, and my dad used to say this all the time, they can be anywhere. Whatever you're looking for, it can be anywhere, right? So don't expect it to be where everybody else went to find it. Go looking in all of the places. Wherever you are, out hunting, whatever you're doing, you should always be looking for opportunity because it'll present itself in the weirdest, strangest of ways, all right? And so that was the hunt. Now, throughout this hunt, I got a little nervous. I called up my brother and I told him, hey, there's some cows. We can go shoot them, right? Up there on the mountain. But he happened to be an hour away. That's that opportunity. You got to be ready to go for those elk at the opportunity that's presented to you. Because somebody else might go looking for those elk. Sure enough, he was able to make it to me in time to go up the mountain. But I was back and forth and really considering whether or not that meant that I should go and leave my brother and just go and get an elk all by myself. Well, this might be my opportunity. There's elk just over the top of that ridge, and I'm being really nice, waiting for my brother to get here, who's just down the hill that way. There's elk right there and there. We call that a target-rich environment, but the elk right over the ridge are a lot closer to me, so we're gonna go after those, and it's gonna be fun. We hiked up over the hill from that spot, and we walked right down into where they were. It just so happened that nobody else had wanted to hike up there and work as hard as we did to get the elk that we were looking at. And sure enough, here it is. I worked my butt off, and so did my brother. And while the hunt was very short and very exciting, we only got one. But we have a very long pack out ahead of us, probably about 1,000 feet down. But first we have to go about 200 feet up. We're gonna enjoy the wonderful weather and the hours of work ahead of us. And then some delicious steaks tonight. This is Empty Spaces hunting. Public land. This is what you could do. You just have to get out, try it out, have some fun. Elk down. That's such a good feeling. I love it. That is the point in which all the hard work starts, right? So the hunt is over. The harvest and taking all of what you just killed off the mountain to put it on a grill and make some amazing jerky, some steaks, some burgers, whatever you are into, that is what that process started as. And my gosh, did we have to hike. I'm saying hike. We hiked up the mountain, 200-300 yards. No, 200-300 feet in elevation up the mountain, probably a quarter mile. And then 1,000 feet off the backside, down the hill to the bottom. It was a hike. You have to be willing to put in the work to do the things that other people aren't willing to do, especially if you're tired, you're hungry, you might be sick. There's so many reasons that you're not going to want to go out there and get something, there's so many reasons of what you're going to tell yourself it's not worth it, but it is worth it, because this right here, this is incredible. This makes me one of the happiest men on the planet, to know that I went out and worked my butt off and found something and was able to harvest it and bring it home, and now I get to eat it with my family and share it with my friends. That's what makes me happy, right? To be able to share this with my friends. And that was one of the best parts about this hunt. And the best part about this whole season was that I got to go hunting with my brother. Now, I risked it. Was it really worth it to maybe miss out on an elk? Yeah, absolutely. Because the experience is nothing if it isn't for the people that you're with. Sometimes going out there alone is fun, but it's even better when you're out there with your friends or your family and you're doing something that you love. And that's what we were doing. We loved it. It was so much fun and a lot of work. At the bottom of the hill, we came across my sister-in-law, my other brother, my nephew, my dad. They all came up to help us out. We just happened to get down the mountain faster than we thought we were. And sure enough, we were able to get this elk off the mountain. Third one for the year. I got one in January. So last hunting season, late season, January. She's still in the fridge. My brother, my other brother, he got a bull. Little bull, but I was there to help him out. And that was a whole bunch of fun on the second weekend of the season. My gosh, that was exciting. It's not usual that you find them where we went looking for them, but sure enough, you can find something even in the places that you're not expecting to find them. And then this cow, and we spread the love. Both brothers got to eat on this cow. Both brothers got to eat, or all three of us got to eat on the bull. I've shared my first cow with all my family. That's what hunting is. It's a group effort, and we're here to go out there, do it responsibly, follow the rules, appreciate the fact that these are animals. These are another life on this planet, and that you just took it for your gain, but it's okay. Just remember that that's something that's special. It means more than just a hunk of meat. It is a life. And so it's something to just remember, pay attention to, savor, and enjoy. Make it good, tasty, like this steak, or these slabs of meat. Jerky looks amazing. So from Empty Spaces, if you like this, we got plenty more coming your way. Lots of winter camping, hopefully, on the way. And I just hope that you take advantage of Onyx, getting some binoculars for the next season, going out there and doing tough things. If you like this, hit the like, subscribe, and we'll see you for some more. That's my wife, by the way.